Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I wish you to have a great day today. Thank you for your valuable time in assessing and watching my research presentation. I am Muhammad Faizal bin Ramli Elaisngah, matrix number P4080, a student from UNT Cyberjaya off-campus in MBA program. My research project is regarding factors influencing shipboard safety behavior among Malaysian seafarers. The research was done with the great help of my supervisor, Dr. Nur Fadiha binti Mokhtar. This presentation will take around 50 minutes. The goal of this research is to identify the influencing factors in Malaysian seafarers' safety behavior. Being an active seafarer, which made me the person I am today, is really triggered me to contribute more to the industry of which I came from. I believe we can agree that seafarers are the movers of the world energy and cargoes, but only some attention are given to them. Seafarers operate Malaysian ships and plays a wider role in maritime flight movement, which contribute up to 80% of world trade. If you see the pictures on the right side, there are more than 200,000 of ships being captured by the satellite positionists globally. Different colors represent different types of ships. Working at the mercy of sea and weather, seafaring is a high-risk profession with 9% of injury rate, which may result in significant environmental pollution and great financial impact. In order to control and minimize marine accident, various regulatory mechanisms for managing seafarers and ship safety have been implemented and strengthened. Problem statement: seafarers and injuries are caused by a number of factors. However, it is commonly accepted that the majority of these triggers are due to unsafe behavior. Simply said, human errors is the major cause of marine accident. Many studies have focused on the direct cause of an accident or unsafe behavior on board a ship, such as ineffective communication or lack of training, but they neglect the psychological factors that lead to unsafe act or accident. There are various rules seafarer needs to obey. These rules only tells a seafarer what to do and how to get a job done safely. Yes, a seafarer has to follow the code strictly for their safety, but how effective is that? The soft issues regarding behavior is often left out. I wish to get real attention here to prove that these issues are valid. Despite the stringent regulation imposed in the shipping industry, there are statistics of major incidents happening on Malaysian waters or involving Malaysian seafarers. What worries me is that based on the top five on the incident occurrence, the frequency of major accidents is almost happening once in every 2 years. We are talking about fatalities here, and I am not including some common everyday incident which happen out there. For me, this issue is really serious and needs to be addressed properly. Research questions and objectives. For this research, I got 2 RQ to be answered. The first RQ is to find what is the relationship between perceived threat, self-efficacy, situation, and working environment that influences workplace safety behavior of Malaysian seafarers. Secondly, the RQ is to find what is the most important factors that influences workplace safety behavior of Malaysian seafarers. As for the objective, the first objective is to identify the relationship of IVs with DV. Secondly, to determine which IV is the most impactful to DV. Conception framework and hypothesis. The research conception framework and hypothesis can be seen as the current slides. Underpinning theory. Half belief model is used to investigate the relationship of safety behavior with Malaysian seafarers. I convinced HBN is an appropriate instrument to clarify Malaysian seafarer safety behavior. Historically, scientific use the model to explain health behavior. The fundamental aspect of HBN is the individual's own willingness to alter their health behavior, mainly because of their health perception. This model is well known in behavioral journalism, which includes cognition, that is, belief and mental events, and also affects stimulus, intention, or behavior. Therefore, HBM is applied to explain seafarer safety behavior. Significance of study. I have divided the significance of study into 4 categories. Simply put, I hope that this research is able to improve the policy formulated when there is a component from psychological level, not just any regulation made to impose in burdening more seafarers psychologically. Literature review. Here are the definition and the components of I have used in the research. That is the IVs and the DV. Allow me to simply explain the meaning of the construct so that I am able to give you a better understanding for this research. Seafarers means any person who is employed or engaged or work in any capacity on board a ship. Safety behavior can be described as action that have been identified as safe approaches or ways of accomplishing a job that minimizing the possibility of any accidents. Perceived threat is denoted as how will a person owns analysis of the harmful situation is going to negatively cause them for the failure of not demonstrating safety behavior. Self-efficacy suggests a person's belief in performing safe behavior as it is essential to deliver the preferred outcomes. Basically, the seafarers who displays greater degrees of self-efficacy would be more self-assured, proficient, and enthusiastic to demonstrate safety behavior. Cues to action. It is denoted as the inducement which activates the initiation process of safety behavior. It acts as a trigger point which based on internal and external elements. A good working environment is a crucial part of safety climate, which will lead to better safety behavior. A positive working environment will have a better impact on seafarers to perform any safety behaviors. Research methodology. A total of 396 Malaysian seafarers comprising of various types of ships such as chemical tankers, oil tankers, OSVs, and ferry have participated. The survey started on the 30th of May 2021, right after the completion of pilot tests, until the 1st of July 2021. The non-probability sampling technique is used for this study. In this type of sampling, the items for the sample are purposely selected. I consider this method is the most ideal, especially during MCO imposed by Malaysian government. Target respondent was selected using a purposive sampling method, where potential respondents meet the sampling criteria such as an active Malaysian seafarers before answering the questionnaire, in order to safeguard the accuracy of the responses. The distribution of the questionnaires was through the online method by Google Form, and the link were distributed via emails and social media platforms such as Facebook and WhatsApp. Analysis results. The first analysis is normality test. It was done to determine whether the data is properly modeled by a regular distribution or not. The result as these slides. Two most commonly used are the Kolmogorov, shrimp mouth, and skewness on also kurtosis. Based on both tests done, I have found that my result is within a normal and accepted parameter before proceeding with another test. Second analysis is the reliability test, which is used to determine the internal consistency and assess by means of reliability coefficient called Cronbach alpha. Before that, the number of items in the table means the construct that I have used for each variable. An alpha value of 0.7 or greater is regarded to have a strong internal consistency of reputable scales. As shown in the tables, all the measures shows a strong value of alpha with the closest action having the highest value. Third analysis, which is the Pearson coefficient correlation analysis. Correlation is used to portray the strength and direction of the relationship between the two variables. The statistic obtained in Pearson product moment correlation R as tabulated. There is a strong and significant correlation between the DV, which is safety behavior, and other IVs. The figures are presented in the slides. Fourth analysis, which is the standard multiple regression analysis. This approach will also tell us how much unique variance in the DV is explained by each of the IVs. The R square indicates the value of variance in the dependent variable, which is safety behavior, and described by the measures of IVs. The value of the R is 0.621, which means the models explain 62.1% of variance in safety behavior. The next things we want to know is that which of the variables included in the model contribute to the prediction of their DV. In this research, the largest coefficient is self-efficacy, followed by Q to action, followed by working environment, and lastly, the perceived threat. Multicollinearity was also run. The tables shows that multicollinearity is non-existent based on generally accepted value. Summary of analysis. Coming back to the RQ, now we are able to answer the first RQ of the study, which is the most influential factor is the cues to action, and the relationship of all variables are significant to safety behavior. Therefore, all proposed variables are significant determinant with 3 levels of correlation strength, which is high for self-efficacy and cue to action, moderate for working environment, and low for perceived threat. For RQ number 2, the impact of each variable is strongly important for self-efficacy, mostly important for cues to action, important for working environment, and slightly important for perceived threat. Conclusion and recommendation. It is now concluded that perceived threat, self-efficacy, cue to action, and working environment are a significant determinant, as much as 62.1% R-squared to Malaysian seafarers' safety behavior, and I consider it to be a decent result. To formulate the policies, it can be aimed at psychological levels to inspire safety behavior, specifically the development of better programs such as education, training, mentorship, and media that points out the cause for not demonstrating safety behavior or advantages for exhibiting safety behavior can be established. If ship owners have to choose only one element to invest, possibly due to financial, time, or another resource restriction, they should invest in most impactful factors, which is self-efficacy. References. This is my top 10 most used reference on this research. Wrapping the whole things up, I always believe that any changes to us as humans need to come from the inside. There is no significant result if we continuously force someone to change. I am glad that this research highlights self-efficacy as the most important factors in safety behavior, clearing the doubt I have for quite some time. To end this session, to Dr. Nur Fadiha and the honorable panels here, I thank you for your kind attention and time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.